All right. Hey guys, it's Miss Murphy, and we are starting lesson 5 today. Okay. It is on scale drawings, and at the end of the bell, you should be able to apply proportional reasoning, meaning create proportions to solve scale drawings. We will get into it a little bit further in just a few minutes, but I have a picture here of a Hot Wheels car. And Hot Wheels cars, the models, are actually built to scale. I'll explain that a little bit further, or maybe you can think about what that means. All right, for today's lesson, make sure that you have a pencil, a calculator, a highlighter, scratch paper, and if you want to use a dry erase board, you may. Just come see me for a marker. You need the lesson 5 notes and the practice problems on scale drawings and models, and it looks like this. And it is page 7. If it's not already in your binder, just go onto the table and pick it up. All right, so the first thing that you guys are going to do is you're going to actually go through the slides. All right, so now we're on the third slide, and you're going to click on the slide. So you'll probably have to pause the video and click on the slide. And you're going to be taken to a Padlet. You will need to log in. Well, I guess it took us right here. Go ahead and log in. And you're going to log in using Google. And I want you to go ahead and answer this question. And the question says, all right, so the topic is Virginia Beach to Busch Gardens. The distance from Virginia Beach to Busch Gardens is approximately 3 inches on the map. Well, does that mean that we can just drive 3 inches and arrive at Busch Gardens? So what I'd like for you to do is tell me what your answer is and explain to me why. Why yes or why no. Okay, and once you're done with that, you come on back to the slides and you will begin your lesson. Remember, pause the video anytime to get caught up. If I'm going too fast, it doesn't matter because you can always stop. All right, here we go. Scale drawings and models. This should actually not be hard because if you're understanding how to set up your proportions like you've done in the last few lessons, this will be easy. All right, so a scale drawing or a model is used to represent an object that is too big or too small to be shown in its actual size. So they can't have Hot Wheels cars in its actual size, so they build it to scale. So all they do is shrink it. But if you were to create a proportion, you will see that it is built to scale because the dimensions of the object of the Hot Wheels car on the scale drawing or the model are proportional to the dimensions of the actual object. Okay, so, and I think I have some Hot Wheels cars. Maybe we can look at the scales. All right, so the scale is the ratio of the size of the model to its actual size. And scale is the model versus the actual. So a scale can have the same units or different units. You can use a scale to find a missing measure on the model or the actual objects. All you have to do is set up and solve a proportion, which you've been doing. So this is going to be pretty easy for you if you understand how to do it. If not, keep watching and keep listening. All right, grab your highlighter. We're going to need the highlighter because it's really important that you highlight the important information and not just highlight the important information, but use your scratch paper or the dry erase board to jot down any numbers that you need to jot down. All right, so here we have Eric is planning to build a raised garden. He sketches a plan with a scale of 1.5 inches equals 4 feet. So he's going to draw it out first. So if the garden has a width of 4 inches on the drawing, well, what is going to be the actual width of the garden? So the important information we definitely need that the scale is 1 inch equals 4 feet. Okay, you guys have seen on a map with the scale where it says 1 inch equals 50 miles. It's the same exact thing. So if the garden has a width of 4 inches, so we know the width, we know inches, we need to find out what will be the actual width of the garden. So now the most important thing is being able to set up the proportion. So let's go ahead and write this out. So we know that 1.5 inches equals 4 feet. So now we have to set up the proportion. So what information do we already know? Well, we know that the width is 4 inches. Now remember, inches, inches to inches, feet to feet. So we know inches. So we're going to put inches side by side. So now we need to solve for x, and you do the same exact thing that we've been doing. So on your handy little calculator, we cross multiply what we can. Okay, we can't multiply 1.5 times x because we don't know what x is. That's what we're trying to find out. So we multiply 4 times 4, which you guys already should know that 4 times 4 is 16. And then we divide what's left over. So what we have left over is the 1.5. So we divide by 1.5 and we get 10.666666666. So we're going to round that to the, let's round it to the nearest tenth. Okay, so here we have 10.66666, right? I'm going to go ahead and write these down. So if we're going to round it to the nearest tenth, remember the first digit after the decimal is tenths place. So we find our number, look next door. Since this is 5 or bigger, we're going to add one more. So our answer is x equals 10.7. But 10.7 what? Okay, 10.7 feet, because it's feet that we're looking for. And that's what the actual width of the garden is going to be. All right, let's look at number 2. Make sure you have your highlighter. If you want to go ahead and try it, do so, please. Okay, and if you know how to do it, you can pretty much fast forward this video close to the end. All right, so Alicia wants to enlarge a photograph to make it a poster for her room. All right, so you could do that on a printer, right? So the photograph is 6 inches tall. The poster will be created using a scale of 4.5 inches equals 2 inches. So how tall is the poster going to be? Well, let's set up the proportion. All right, so we know that 4.5 inches equals 2 inches, and we know that the photograph is 6 inches tall. We need to know how tall will the poster be. Go ahead and highlight that so you have it right there in front of you. It's easy to find. All right, so let's set it up. 4.5 inches, and I'm writing inches on here, so we know it is 2 inches on the model. Get rid of that. Okay. All right, so what do we know? We know that the photograph is 6 inches tall. All right, so now we have inches in both. So where are we going to put it? Are we going to put it in the numerator, or are we going to put it in the denominator? So let's go back and let's look at the question again. All right, so the photograph is 6 inches tall. but the poster will be created using a scale of 4.5 inches equals 2 inches. We want to know how tall the poster will be. So we're going to say the photograph is 6 inches tall. So we're going to put the 6 inches down here with the 2 inches. And now we're going to use our handy dandy calculator, and we're going to multiply 4.5 times 6, and we get 27, and then we divide it by 2, and we get 13.5. So x equals 13.5 inches. Okay? All right, let's move on to number 3. All right, so James is building a dollhouse that is proportional to his own house. He's using a scale of 0.5 or half an inch equals 1 foot. If the dollhouse is 12.3 inches tall, how tall is his house? All right, so highlighter. All right, so he's using a scale. What's the scale? The scale is 0.5 inches or half an inch equals 1 foot of the real house. And the dollhouse, if it's 12.3 inches tall, we're going to figure out how tall his house is. So let's set up the proportion. Try it out if you want. All right, so we have 0.5 inches is 1 foot. All right, we already have the inches, so we're going to keep the inches on the top, which is 12.3, and we are solving for x, and that x will let us know how tall the house will be. So, what do? What's it called? We are going to cross multiply. So we have 12.3 times 1. I don't need to do that on a calculator because I already know that 12.3, anything times 1 is that number. So we have 12.3 divided by 0.5. Whoops, that didn't work out right. 12.3 divided by 0.5 equals 2.46. So x equals 2.46 feet. And if we want to round it, we find our number. We look next door. Since the 6 is 5 or bigger, we're going to add one more, and it would be 2.5. Okay? Oops. Get out of there. All right, I'm going to erase this to make room for the next problem. My computer is freezing up.